Have you got brown spot, black spot, or powdery mildew on your pumpkins like I do? If so, you're in the right place, because today I'm going to be showing you how to use a fungicide to get rid of that disease so that your entire season isn't ruined. What's going on? It's Samantha from 40 Acres of Clueless, the channel where we figure things out one project at a time. And today, the project we're trying to figure out is how to rid our gardens of invasive fungal disease. Now, I've tried a lot of things in the past. I've tried the organic approach using neem oil, and this has a decent effectiveness if it's towards the end of the season and you catch it early. And that is a very organic, non-chemical way to deal, especially with powdery mildew. But unfortunately, this year I've got black spot and brown spot on my watermelons and on my pumpkins, and it's only July, so I can't have this disease really take hold because my vines are just not going to have enough time to get the fruit to maturity. So today I'm going to be discussing how to use this product. This is Spectracide Immunox. I sprayed it for the first time on these plants 2 weeks ago, and they looked absolutely terrible, and now they've really turned the corner and it's time for me to reapply it again. So we're going to go through exactly what you need to do to treat both pumpkin vines and watermelon vines, and this applies to any of the vegetables or fruits in the cucurbits family. So let's go. So before you get ready to apply the chemical, you want to go ahead and remove any portions of the plant that are severely diseased. So for example, this leaf right here, we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to cut it off and dispose of it right here in the bucket. And I want to take only the most severely diseased. If they're just a little bit like this one here, I'm going to go ahead and leave that because it still has the potential to turn the corner. And the reality is that you may have a small amount of disease on your entire vine, and you can't cut all of the leaves off because it needs to be able to photosynthesize the sun to create energy to grow. So take only the most diseased ones and then put them in a bucket immediately. So this way you're not spreading those spores, or you're minimizing the extent to which you're spreading those spores around the garden, because this stuff is super contagious. So the only equipment you're going to need are a pair of rubber gloves and a sprayer. I also like to have a dedicated measuring cup for the purposes of mixing up either herbicides or fungicides. I try to keep one dedicated for each specific product because I just feel like things are a little bit neater that way and less risk of contamination. Now for pumpkins, for watermelons, zucchini, squash, or any of the cucurbits family, you're going to want to mix 1 1/4 ounces per gallon of water. So this is a 2-gallon sprayer. So I'm going to be mixing 2.5 ounces of the solution into the sprayer. And if you don't have a good sprayer, this is a really good one. I like it because it has this metal tip, and I've had it for a few years now and it's been great. So I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check this one out, because I do recommend it. Okay, I'll just pour that in there. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's pretty wicked stuff. So now, if you've ever used anything like Roundup or glyphosate before, you know the safety procedures with that. With this, there's no risk to plants like there is with Roundup, but this stuff is stinky. Once this stuff is dry on the plant, it's totally safe. The only thing is that if you spray a crop, they don't want you to replant the same crop in the same soil within 30 days of that application. But this stuff is perfectly safe to spray on all of your cucurbits, even up to the day of harvest. Just make sure that it's dry when you go to pick it, and give it a good rinse before you decide to consume it. So when you're spraying this, you want to spray to the point of drip. So like this, see how you can see it dripping off? And you want to get the whole entire plant to the point where you can see it dripping off the leaves. And I like to spray inside so that I can get those vines and the underside of the leaves. And you can go ahead and, you know, we've got a pumpkin right here. You can go ahead and give him a spray too. Just protect everything. Depending on the size of your garden, this could take a little while. I've got a pretty big one. And you're going to want to do this every 7 to 10 days until the disease is gone. Once the disease is gone, you can continue to do this as a maintenance if you'd like. They're looking so much better. I wish I would have taken some video last week when the disease was really rampant, because you'd be shocked that they look this good. I can attest this stuff really works. I was a little skeptical, but after seeing the results myself, I decided I'm gonna make this video and share it with you guys, because this could be how you save your crop this year if you've got this problem going on. We're gonna follow the same procedure for any kind of summer squash or zucchini, acorn squash, butternut squash, any of the squash family. Spray to the point of dripping. I got a few zucchini on the vine here. You can go ahead and spray them. Make sure you rinse them before you eat them, but it's perfectly safe. You want to make sure to get down right into the crux of the plant. These are looking beautiful. These don't have any disease, thankfully. They're in a different part of the garden. Well, maybe a little bit starting down here. Powdery mildew and brown spot, dark spot, those kind of diseases, especially once you get them once in your garden, they tend to come back year after year unless you take a substantial break. And we're just not prepared to do that. So this product works great. For watermelons, you're going to follow the same procedure. Soak to that point of dripping every 7 to 14 days for watermelon. And if there were melons on the vine, you can go ahead and spray them. And make sure you get all these flowers too, because you don't want the disease to really spread to them. If this video has been helpful to you, go ahead and smash that like button. We really appreciate it. And if you're not too hot on the chemicals and you want to check out something that's more organic, then I want you to click right over here. I'm going to show you how to treat white powdery mildew with neem oil. Have a good one.